July 29th, 2025. Tiptonville, Tennessee. 4 bodies discovered in a wooded stretch. A 7-month-old baby left alone on a stranger's lawn. A suspect, known to police, long gone. When law enforcement finally finds his vehicle, the terror spikes, because the suspect they're hunting is still alive and still armed and dangerous. This is more than a crime. It's a warning that a system failed. Welcome to the Dark Stories. We bring you deeply human stories with rigor, respect, and truth. If you're new, subscribe now. If you've been following, thank you. This is the Dark Stories. Discovery and horror. Tiptonville lies on the edge of Lake County, Tennessee, tranquil, rural, on the evening of July. At 10:26 p.m., a 911 call reported 2 missing persons, Courtney Rose, 38, and her daughter, Adriana Williams, 20. Just hours earlier, a witness in Dyer County, 40 miles away, had called police about a baby girl placed in a car seat on a stranger's front yard. Within hours, James M. Wilson, 21, baby's father. Adriana Williams, 20, mother. Courtney Rose, 38, maternal grandmother. Braden Williams, 15, maternal uncle, were found murdered on Carrington Road in Tiptonville. Authorities rushed the abandoned baby to safety. The infant is now in protective custody and unharmed. District Attorney Danny Goodman called it a targeted attack. The victims were related to Drummond's current girlfriend, including half-sisters and nephews and nieces. Who is Austin Drummond? Austin Robert Drummond, 28 years old, from Jackson, Tennessee. His name was already familiar to law enforcement. 2013, age 16, carjacked a convenience store in Jackson with what he claimed was a BB gun while on Xanax. He stole $44 and was tried as an adult, convicted of aggravated robbery in August 2014. 2015, threatened jurors in retaliation, pleaded guilty to 13 counts. By 2020, at a parole hearing, he had more than 24 serious disciplinary violations: weapon possession, assaults, refusing drug tests, gang activity. Drummond defended himself by claiming he'd been almost beaten to death. The Madison County DA Jody Pickens described him as a dangerous felony offender and a confirmed member of the Vice Lords gang. Drummond was denied parole repeatedly, released in September 2024 after serving nearly 13 years. He then faced new charges for attempting to kill someone while incarcerated in December 2024, but was out on bond at the time of the Tiptonville murders. Vehicles and clues. Following the murders, Texas investigators focused on Drummond's vehicles. His 2016 Audi A3 with Tennessee plate RI 01896 was found abandoned inside dense brush near a dead end on MCO Road, Jackson, about 70 miles southeast of Tiptonville. It showed signs he had lived inside the vehicle. The TBI issued an urgent warning. Drummond is armed and extremely dangerous. Lock your doors, stay indoors throughout the area. Search crews also located a 1988 white Ford pickup truck with a red stripe near Burnt Mill, Audi, in Dyer County. Its involvement remains uncertain. Investigators could not confirm if Drummond ever drove it. Manhunt and public alerts. Manhunt efforts intensified. Police deployed K-9 units, helicopters, ground search teams. Jackson PD updated the public, urging vigilance and raising an elevated sense of caution, though confirming daily routines could continue with caution. TBI asked residents with cameras to review footage from Tuesday morning, seeking sightings of the suspect or the truck. U.S. Marshal Tyrese Miller stated, "Getting Austin Drummond in custody is a priority. Anyone with information should call us immediately. You will remain anonymous." A $15,000 reward is now offered for credible tips leading to his arrest. Raised from an initial lower amount, timeline reconstructed. Here's how the timeline stands. DEC 2024. Alleged prison attempted murder. July to 9, 1025, month 3, at 11 p.m. Infant dropped off in Tigret, Dyer County. 10:26 p.m. Initial 911 report. Courtney Rose and Adriana Williams missing. Late night. 4 adult bodies discovered in Lake County near Tiptonville. ARG 1 to 2. Audi located in Jackson. Truck found in Dyer County. Public alerts issued. Reward increased. Personal connections and impact. Drummond had previously dated Caitlin, half-sister to the victims Courtney and Adriana. Family members, community friends. Many expressed shock. They trusted Drummond. Loved ones described the victims as nurturing figures, dedicated parents, and beloved relatives. For James Wilson's father, grief turned to anger. He vowed to honor their memory even as he demanded answers. From a system that allowed a known violent offender back into the community. What's next? As of August, atrocity. 2025, Drummond remains at large. Authorities believe he's still in Tennessee, likely near Jackson or Dyer County. Investigation continues on several fronts. Reviewing surveillance camera footage, interrogating known associates, scouring local woods, roads, and highways for fresh leads, monitoring online and social media presence. There's a real concern. Since his vehicle was destroyed or abandoned, Drummond may have new transport, changed his appearance, or is preparing for further violence. 4 lives taken, 1 infant left defenseless. A system that failed repeatedly allowed a dangerous man back into society. And a manhunt that spans miles, forests, and unanswered questions. Somewhere, Austin Drummond is hiding. For the families left behind, justice cannot wait. How many more warnings are needed before systems truly protect the innocent?
All right, let's peel back the layers on today's story. It's an urgent and, frankly, deeply concerning situation out of Tennessee.
It really is.
Oh.
A lot happening very quickly.
We're launching into a deep dive on this ongoing manhunt for Austin Drummond, the suspect in a quadruple murder. Our mission today is to rapidly cut through the noise, get you fully informed on the latest developments, try to understand the tragic events that unfolded.
Which are just awful.
Right, and critically connect these to Drummond's extensive and, well, troubling criminal history. We're pulling from the latest reports, the sources you've provided.
And what's immediately striking about this case, I think, is just the speed at which new details keep coming out. It's constantly reshaping the picture for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Piecing together this timeline, understanding the connections, the people involved, and analyzing his past. It's absolutely crucial, not just for the investigation, but really for grasping the challenges authorities are up against here.
And there have been some significant developments already in the manhunt, some quite revealing. Let's start with the vehicles linked to Drummond, his main one, that 2016 Audi A3. It's been found abandoned.
That's a crucial piece. The Jackson Police Department, JPD, they found it located in the woods kind of near the dead end of MCO Road. That's in Jackson, Tennessee.
Okay.
And what's particularly telling, maybe unnerving, is it looked like Drummond had actually been living in the car.
Really? Living in it?
Yeah. Suggests, a very transient state during this manhunt.
That observation alone tells you quite a bit about his current situation, his movements. And the JPD, they put out a pretty stark warning, right?
They did, asking people right there in that immediate Jackson area to lock their doors, stay inside. They're emphasizing he's considered armed and extremely dangerous.
And for context, Jackson is what, about 70 miles southeast of Tiptonville, where the murders happened?
That's right. So it gives you a sense of the ground he's potentially covered.
That immediate warning from JPD, it's a critical step, isn't it? That direct line to the public.
Absolutely. And it underscores just how volatile they think he is. And, speaking of challenges, now there's a second vehicle that complicates things even more.
You're right. A second one, a 1988 white Ford pickup truck, red stripe, that was found near Burnt Mill Road in Dyer County. The TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, located that one.
Mm-hmm. But the connection here, it's a bit fuzzier at the moment.
Yeah, not as clear-cut.
No, not yet. The TBI couldn't actually confirm Drummond was driving that truck. So its exact link to the manhunt, well, it's still uncertain for now. This kind of ambiguity, in a fast-moving chase like this, it just highlights how every scrap of information, even if it's partial, could be vital.
So what are they doing about it?
Well, the TBI is asking anyone in that Burnt Mill Road area, if they have cameras, security cams, doorbell cams, whatever,
right,
to check their footage from Tuesday morning, see if they spot Drummond, or maybe just the truck itself. It shows how much they rely on public help sometimes to fill those gaps.
And to encourage that help, there's a reward out now.
Yeah, a significant one. $15,000 for information leading to his arrest.
$15,000, okay. And the U.S. Marshals are involved, too, assisting the TBI.
Right. That signals the seriousness, the resources being poured into this. Federal involvement.
Okay, let's pivot now, if we can, to the victims. The tragic events themselves that have just devastated these communities. 4 people found murdered this week in Tiptonville.
It's just heartbreaking. The victims. James M. Wilson, he was 21. Adriana Williams, 20. Courtney Rose, 38. And Braden Williams, just 15 years old.
15. And the connection here, it's deeply personal, isn't it? Makes it even more chilling.
It really does. All 4 are identified as family members of Drummond's current girlfriend. It seems Rose and Adriana were half-sisters.
Okay.
And the 2 Williams victims, Adriana and Braden, they were siblings. And both were niece and nephew to Courtney Rose.
So a tight family unit. This wasn't random.
No, absolutely not. District Attorney Danny Goodman explicitly called it a targeted attack. This strikes right at the heart of a family.
And then there's that detail about the infant. It's just hard to comprehend. An infant related to all 4 victims.
Found later on the front lawn of some random person's house.
Just left there. That specific detail, it just amplifies the horror, doesn't it? It goes beyond the initial crime.
It absolutely does. It suggests a level of, indiscriminate brutality, where even the most vulnerable got caught up in this awful wake of violence.
So the charges reflect that severity.
Yes. The TBI got warrants for Drummond, 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping that's likely tied to the infant being moved.
Right. Makes sense.
And multiple weapons offenses on top of that. These are extremely serious charges.
Okay. Now, to really grasp the scale of this manhunt, we have to look at Drummond's past. Because his history, it's not just troubling, it kind of paints a picture, a trajectory that almost foreshadows this kind of extreme violence.
That's quite a record.
Get this. Austin Drummond, he's 28 now. At the time of these murders, he was actually out on bond.
Out on bond. For what?
For trying to kill someone. While he was in prison, back on December 12th, 2024.
Wait, he tried to kill someone while incarcerated, and he was out on bond for that.
That's what the reports indicate. And that fact alone just sets the stage for this deeply concerning criminal background we need to unpack.
Wow, okay. And what's really telling here is how far back this goes and how it seems to escalate. We're talking about someone whose violent, disruptive acts started when he was, just 16?
Yeah, 16 years old. Back in July 2013, as a teenager, he robbed a convenience store. Armed robbery. In Jackson, Tennessee again.
Jackson seems to be a recurring location.
It does. He pointed a pistol at the gas station worker, demanded the cash register be opened, took $44. Now, fast forward to a parole hearing in 2020.
Okay.
Drummond claimed he was on Xanax at the time, didn't even remember the robbery, and he also claimed the gun wasn't real, just a BB gun.
Trying to minimize it years later. But the justice system, they obviously didn't buy the BB gun story at the time.
No, they took it very seriously. He was tried as an adult, convicted of aggravated robbery in August 2014, but what happened after the conviction is maybe even more concerning.
What was that?
He made threats. Threats to go after the jurors who convicted him.
Wow. Go after the jurors. That speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A complete disregard for the system, for consequences, even when he's already facing serious time.
Exactly. It led to him pleading guilty, in February 2015 to 13 counts of retaliation for past action. It's not just defiance. It's actively trying to intimidate and undermine the whole process.
13 counts of retaliation.
Okay.
And the disturbing pattern, it didn't stop there, did it? There was mention of gang affiliation.
Yes. A district attorney, Jody Pickens, back in 2020, explicitly called him a dangerous felony offender and a confirmed member of the Vice Lords.
The Vice Lords, a known street gang. So this isn't just an individual acting out. There's potentially a gang structure, connections involved as well. That adds another layer of complexity for law enforcement.
Definitely. So with that history, that gang affiliation, what was his actual time in prison like? He got a combined 13-year sentence, right? Set to end September 2024.
Right. But his record inside tells another story. By that 2020 parole hearing we mentioned, he'd racked up over 24 disciplinary issues.
Over 24, while incarcerated.
Yeah. Not minor stuff either. We're talking possession of a deadly weapon, assault, refusing drug tests, ongoing gang activity, a significant pattern of trouble within the correctional system.
Did he offer any explanation for those? The assault, the weapon?
Well, his explanation, according to the reports from that hearing, was that those incidents happened because he himself was almost beaten to death, trying to frame it as self-defense or a reaction to threats against him.
So if we try to connect all these dots, this long history, the escalating violence, the gang ties, the trouble inside prison, what does this bigger picture tell us?
It paints a picture of a highly challenging individual for authorities to manage, both inside the system and clearly now outside. You have documented violence from a young age, the gang element, a major disciplinary record even when locked up.
Right.
This past suggests a pattern of behavior that's incredibly difficult to contain or redirect. It really raises hard questions about, the effectiveness of the correctional system in deterring future violence for someone like this, even when they're supposedly being punished or rehabilitated.
So what does this all mean for the current situation, for the manhunt? This history suggests they aren't just looking for a murder suspect.
No, not at all. They're pursuing someone with a deeply ingrained history of violence, a proven disregard for consequences, and who represents, based on this pattern, a significant and escalating threat to public safety.
It definitely highlights the immense challenges law enforcement faces with individuals who have these kinds of extensive violent histories. It's not just about this one horrific incident, it's the culmination of a pattern.
Exactly. That entire trajectory, laid out in the reports we have, is what informs the urgency you're seeing now. The multi-agency response, the public warnings, it all stems from this background.
So as this manhunt continues, the tragic details from Tiptonville and this disturbing past of Austin Drummond are really coming into sharper focus. Hopefully this deep dive has given you a clearer, more concise understanding of what's a very complex, very fast-moving story, helping connect the past to the present.
Yeah, and this case, especially when you look at Drummond's history, the escalation, the challenges, even within the correctional system, it really brings up an important question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About how effectively our systems address these deeply entrenched patterns of violence.
It does.
When someone has a history like this, it forces us to think about the broader implications for public safety and just the sheer complexity of the justice system trying to handle it.
Absolutely. It leaves you thinking, how does a history like Austin Drummond's escalating crime, significant trouble, even while incarcerated, impact not just the victims and their families, but the entire community and the authorities trying to protect it? What does a case like this make you consider about the intricacies of justice and that really difficult balance between rehabilitation, punishment, and just the fundamental need for public safety?
If this story moved you, share it. Leave a comment. Did Drummond ever belong out on bond? Is gang history too often overlooked in parole decisions? Join us in asking the hard questions, because speaking up just might stop the next tragedy. Thank you for watching The Dark Stories. Stay alert, stay kind, and stay safe.